back to another episode of The Last Word with your boy Arty. We're gonna get into the Week 5 action right now. Um, it already started with the Colts Broncos. We're already freaking 0% this week. Betting on the Broncos again, like come on, man, come on. Like I think that might be one the last time I bet on the Broncos. That game was crazy. That game was crazy. That was one of the worst games I ever saw. The Colts won 12-9. Like that was crazy. So, hey, Broncos, like that's crazy. Y'all suck. Well, I don't think I'm betting on the Broncos again. They got to be playing the Texans, I guess, for me to bet on them. Either way, I'm done with that. Giants versus Packers in London. I got the Giants winning this one. I think the Packers will struggle offensively. Obviously, they don't have any offensive weapons. They have some veterans and some rookies, but the rookies have been doing their thing, and Aaron Rodgers is pushing them. Plus, their run game. I think the Packers' run game is going to give us some trouble, which could open it up for Aaron Rodgers to kind of beat our ass. To be real, I think I'm hoping the Giants win, and I think we have what it takes to kind of get the game, but we don't score enough points. And the look at what the even though Brady had a little bit of weapons, look at what the Packers defense was able to hold him to. Now, does Daniel Jones have better weapons than Brady did? No. He has no receivers and a running back. And the Tom had no receivers and no real running back. I mean, he had playoff Lenny, but playoff Lenny isn't Saquon. And they couldn't even score much points against this 49ers team, this Packers team. Our scheme is a little bit different than the Buccaneers, though, which is why I think that we could definitely put up more points than they did. But the Packers might be able to put up more points against us than they did against the Buccaneers, and they might be able to win it. But I'm gonna go with the Giants. Fuck it. I think that they could actually get the win. I do think if Daniel Jones plays. If Daniel Jones plays, I'm picking the Giants. If Daniel Jones does not play, I'm picking the Packers. Yeah. Anybody else behind center, but other than Daniel Jones, I'm picking the Packers. But we'll see. So that one has an asterisk. It has a caveat, like a requirement. My Giants pick is Daniel Jones dependent. If he's not playing, I'm not picking him. Next game is Lions Patriots. Lions Patriots is interesting. Lions have been able to put up a ton of points. This is another kind of caveat. If Mac Jones plays, I will probably pick the Patriots because the Patriots will be able to run up on that Lions defense that appears to be so bad. But I just don't see Jared Goff being able to put up all them points against the Patriots defense that he's been putting up everywhere else. Um, I think the Patriots probably got the better culture and a better defense and might be just more like the adults in the room and handle them. So I'm gonna go with Patriots in this game. I don't think I could go with Lions in this one. Even with Mac Jones not starting, I mean, if Mac Jones doesn't start, how the Patriots gonna score? So this is another caveat. I'm sorry, I got to do it. If Mac Jones starts, I'm going with the Patriots. If he doesn't, I'm going with the Lions. So that game is dependent upon Mac Jones. The Giants game is dependent upon Daniel Jones. Next game, Browns Chargers. There's no caveat here. We're going with the Chargers because they just have the overall better team and quarterback. The Browns have the dual running back there, and if Deshaun Watson was playing, I would choose the Browns, but he's not playing. So I'm going with the Chargers in this one. I think they'll win. I don't think it'll be handily. I think the Browns will give them some trouble, but the Chargers should be able to fight for the win and pull it out at the end. The Browns defense is going to give them a lot of trouble on the line, and Herbert better be prepared for his ribs to get at least a little roughed up. Okay? But interesting game coming up next. Jaguars Titans. I say it's interesting. It's not the most big teams, but we get a chance to see two bad offenses go against each other, and we'll see how that shapes up. Because I mean, the Jaguars have a good defense, so the Texans barely going to be able to score. But the Jaguars don't have much on offense, so I don't know how many points they're actually going to put up. So we'll see. I'm going with Jaguars in this game. Obviously, they have the better team, better defense overall by far. So the Texans shouldn't be able to put up much points at all. But I'm going to go with the Jags. I think it should be an easy enough win for them. But battle of the no offensive systems is going to be interesting. Next game, easy pick as well. Buccaneers, Falcons. Falcons are up and coming. Like I keep saying, I think their offense is going to be dangerous with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and when they get a good quarterback next season in the draft, depending on if they lose games, they're 2-2. Right. Um, but we're gonna go with the Bucks. I think the defense is gonna stymie them greatly, especially after that loss to Kansas City. They're gonna come out to prove a point. I think Brady's gonna come out to prove a point. He scored 31 points on that Chiefs defense and was only 10. He only lost the game by 10 points. It's not like he got blown out, and his team did not play well. So I think he's coming to kill these Falcons this week. He'll turn them into some type of stew or some type of soup or some type of bird soup. Like they got some type of falcon soup or something. Well, Tom gonna turn them into falcon soup or something like that. And the Bucks gonna really, I think they're gonna handle them. I think the Bucks are coming to prove a point this week. Um, really run it down their throat, start getting into that, and then throw the play, get into the play action and the deep ball. We'll see. It depends on Tom. Depends on how Tom's feeling. See your world, Tom. So we'll see how that one shapes up. Next game, Bills Steelers. These are some of these are more easy picks. Bills obviously. Steelers have no quarterback, no run game, no system, no offensive system, no shot. Right? Bills are gonna, I think, trample them as long as the Bills don't come into the game too full of themselves and expecting to get the win. If the Bills play like that they're playing against a football team, then they should be able to get the win, no problem. We're gonna go Bills over Steelers, easy. Really, no questions asked on that one. I just think the Bills got way more than the Steelers. You know, way more on all levels. And if Kenny Pickett is starting quarterback, oh, it's gonna be a day. It's gonna be a day. They're gonna pick him like crazy. It's gonna be over before it even begins with the Steelers. To be honest, this is probably the hardest game. This next game is the hardest game of the week to pick for me. Dolphins Jets. It's literally hard as heck to pick because Bridgewater with Waddle and Tariq isn't half as dangerous as Tua. Bridgewater proved it too. Like when in that game that he came in, it's like, bro, what are you doing? But I'm expecting Bridgewater to play better this week because he's coming into it knowing he's going to be the starter, and he'll have more time to prepare. But he just didn't look good. He just looked bad against the Bengals, and the Bengals looked awful. And I'm like, bro, anybody else quarterbacking right now, and the Bengals would be toast. So I don't know. Bridgewater used to be okay as a backup, but now I'm not so sure. And I'm really having a hard time betting on him. Like, I'm having a hard time choosing the Dolphins to win after what I saw. I just don't know. Like, if you're the Dolphins and you say, okay, we're gonna come out and we're gonna run to open up the pass later, wouldn't you expect that as the Jets after seeing Bridgewater play? You would probably think like, oh, they're probably gonna come out and run and try to set up the pass later on in the game. But I don't know. I mean, are you gonna think they're gonna come out passing after that performance by him? You gonna think they're gonna come out passing the ball? I don't know. So for the first time in my life, I think I'm gonna pick the Jets. They were able to get that win last week. Sometimes that's all you need to get rolling. The thing about Zach Wilson coming back too is like that's the thing I was talking about in week one with Trey Lance and them. Like when you don't know what a person is gonna do, they kind of have the advantage on the football field a lot of times. That wasn't the case with Bridgewater, but that seemed to be the case with Zach Wilson when he came back. And this could be another example of that, where like they're not quite sure what he's gonna be or what he's gonna do. Even though they do got a lot of film on him already, so but that's from last year, right? So this year we got one piece of film on him. We got to see what he's gonna do. But I think I'm gonna pick the Jets to win this one, man. That's a tough one, but I think I'm gonna pick the Jets. I'm really not sure about this one. Like this could go either way. If I look at the lines, it's like, the defensive line, offensive line is like, for both teams, nah, I'm not overly like no one is bodying the other on either one, and then the quarterbacks, the great equalizers, nah, So it's like, where are we? So we'll go with Jets just because maybe they'll pull it out. I mean, they have less offensive weapons, so we should probably go with the team with more offensive weapons, right? And the Dolphins, but that boy don't look like he could utilize them weapons. Um, but I guess it could also be like Tariq's will and their will to win the game that'll push them over the Jets. But I think I'm gonna go with the Jets, man. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. Bears Vikings. This one, the Bears are a little bit on a losing streak. They lost maybe just the one game to the Giants. I'm not sure if they lost before that. But the Viking, I'm going to choose the Vikings. That's why I think the Vikings, the connection between Kirk and Jefferson is real. Even though that 2 weeks ago they kind of disappeared when they played the I think who they played. I forgot who they played. Maybe the Cardinals or somebody like that. But I think the Vikings offense is good enough to beat the Bears, and I don't think the Bears offense is good enough to beat the Vikings defense. I just think the Bears struggle to score points consistently. More often than not, they're making some type of mistake and going three and out or something like that. All them three and outs against Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson, you're going to get the points ran up on you. So I think the Vikings lose this. I think the Vikings win this game big out over the Bears. Actually, I think the Bears probably struggle. We'll see though. They struggled last week, so maybe they come in with a better game plan this week to kind of get things going early. But who knows? I think the Vikings still win it though. So we'll see. This game, easy pick. Titans over Commanders. We're going Titans. Titans versus Commanders. We're going Titans. Commanders. I mean, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Right. The I can't say that the Titans defense is going to overwhelm the Commanders offense. I can't say that. I can't say that the Titans line is going to cause a lot of problems for Wentz. I can't necessarily say that because they don't really have anything like that, right? So that kind of brings that down a little bit, evens it out a little bit more. But Carson Wentz is like periodic um, inaccuracy is a big detriment to the Commanders. So they have no run game, no consistent pass game, and a bad offensive line. I don't think that they can win the game. I think they'll take the loss to the Titans. The Titans will probably come out and do the same thing they did last week. If it's not a screen, if it's a screen, it's just going to be a screen to the other side, or they're just going to get Derrick Henry involved early and kind of beat the brakes off these boys. I think so. Titan. I'm going with Titans on that one. All right. And for the first time this season, the next game, Saints versus Seahawks. For the first time this season, I'm gonna pick the Seahawks. They impressed me last week, scoring 48 on the Lions. 48 is a lot of points. That's just a lot. And the Saints are struggling. I don't think the Saints have an offensive system that you can rely on. Pete Carroll, on the other hand, seems to be able to coach up, and Pete Carroll has his culture and is already established in Seattle. So bringing in Geno Smith and Drew Lock was just okay. I'm just bringing in guys that I want them to play my way. We're gonna run the ball a lot. You're gonna get you out the pocket and do the things that you're good at doing, and we'll win and we'll manage the game that way. So if the Seahawks can do that against the Saints, then I think they'll be able to win. It's going to come down to the Saints' ability to force turnovers, in my opinion, because their offense isn't going to get it done. I just think we're not at the point where we're trying to figure out what the offense is. The offense is bad. It's that you can't get the ball to Kamara, you can't get the ball to Thomas. You're not good on offense. It's hit plays here and there. It's just not consistent. They're both bad teams, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks because they have a lot of fight in them every game. So we'll see. I don't want to bet against the Saints, but I'll go with the Seahawks this game and we'll see how it goes. Next game, the 49ers versus the Baker Mayfield Panthers. I will never choose the Baker Mayfield Panthers to win any game. So I'm going to go with the 49ers, who have one of the best defenses in the league. And Baker Mayfield can't throw against one of the worst defenses in the league. So what makes me think he's going to be able to do anything against this team? The Baker Mayfield Panthers, they're really bad right now. They have about one win. They're 1-3. So after this week, they're going to be 1-4, and it's really going to be over for them. I think they're going to bench Baker. He's going to be done for. No one. He's never going to even be a backup quarterback. No one wants that personality as a backup. And if my quarterback gets hurt, I'd rather put in a rookie than put in you. So I'm sorry for the Baker Mayfield Panthers, but their season is already over. And we actually knew their season was over from week 1 when they lost to the Browns. We already thought they were going to start the season 0-4, but they were able to get a win against some bummy team a week or two ago. So yeah, we have no faith in the Baker Mayfield Panthers, and they need to get the fuck out of here. Okay, next game, Eagles Cardinals. Um, We're gonna go with the Eagles in this one, just off of the strength of the better quarterback, in our opinion. I never believed in Kyler. I'm already saying I'll be the first to say I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Kyler Murray. Better offense, better receivers, obviously. So we have the two receivers. Better offensive scheme with Jalen Hurts doing a lot of read options, a lot of running the ball, not himself handing off to the run, then getting the receivers involved. A lot of that. That's how it should be. When Kyler had Hopkins, D Hop all the time, he didn't have a running game, so it wasn't like they was mixing in the run game to open up the play action or giving the run game to open up the short or mid game to open up the long game. They weren't doing that. They weren't going periodically through an offense and setting up the defense. I haven't seen the Cardinals ever do that. All I ever see is backyard football from them, which is garbage. So if you're gonna play backyard football scrambling against the Eagles, that might work. That might work. If Kyler plays the beginning of the game throwing and he starts to run late, if the game is close, then he'll have a shot. If the game is already out of hand by the second half, which it most likely will be, that's running in the second half ain't gonna do nothing but bring them closer, and they'll just lose the game by less points. But um, I think the Eagles take it. I think the Eagles has got a way better team, way better culture, and Jalen Hurts is taking them dead seriously. He's not overlooking them because they're not playing well. He's taking them dead seriously as a good team, and he's focused on them. So I'm going with the Eagles on this one. Next game, upset of the week, which everyone has as the upset of the week, really, is Cowboys versus the Rams. The Cowboys have the just the more consistent defense right now, and they have the more consistent quarterback right now too, who's managing the game. Like Matthew Stafford isn't a game manager; he's a quarterback, so he's going to be slinging it, but he's slinging it to one person, and he's not accurate. He's getting sacked. He's just not doing his thing because of maybe he doesn't have enough time. He's not going to have much time against the Cowboys. The Rams are going to have to scheme something up for him this time. McVay does a great job of that, though. So McVay does a great job of knowing like when we need something or when we need it big. So what I could see happening is like throughout the game, they kind of have it a certain way, like it's short, it's small games, but then they try to open it up. It's going to be that one play. Like if they could keep the game close, if the defenses could keep the game close, Matt Stafford could end up taking it on a surprise big play to Cooper Cup because it's just the one, just the one. But that might be a little bit harder since it's just Cooper Cup. Now, on the other hand, the same thing can be said, but the Dallas has the better offense, right? They have equal. Let's say the defenses are equal. Dallas has the better offense. That's crazy. Dallas has more weapons on offense. You have to go with Dallas. You can't sit here and say that the Rams are the favorite. The Cowboys have a better offense than them. How are the Rams the favorite? Because if you rate the offense, like if I'm scared of an offense, it got Cooper Cup on it and that's it. But if I got an offense where I know that in the past I've seen him throw, it's all about what I've seen. I've seen this man got Noah Brown looking like wide receiver number one. Cooper, he got CeeDee Lamb looking like wide receiver number one. He threw a sweet dime to Gallup in the end zone. That's two number ones and a number two. And the Rams got one receiver. If the defenses match, Cooper Clutch got the advantage, bro. It's gonna be crazy. It's not an underdog. I think that Vegas got this so wrong. I could bet on the Cowboys and make a killing. Because the Rams should be the underdog. They have the worst offense between these two teams right here. So I think that's crazy that the Rams are favored, but I'm choosing the Cowboys. I think it's quite obvious that the Cowboys are the better team. And that really and truly, you can't even scheme it up. The Rams aren't even going to be able to scheme it up. They're not going to be able to do anything. If Ramsey takes away CD, the rest of them going to have to take away Noah Brown and Gallup. So and Zeke and Pollard. So I didn't even say Zeke and Pollard. Like I didn't even get to the running game. Like come on. Really and truly. Now you add in the running game, bro. Now what are they gonna do? What are the Rams gonna do? Nah. It's clear as day the Cowboys are not the underdog. I don't know what Vegas is thinking. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Bengals Ravens next game. Like I told y'all, them Bengals are in trouble. We'll see how the Ravens respond, and it's gonna depend on if the Ravens defense does good early and if the offense starts to relax a little bit because that's happened, or if the offense of the Ravens have some early success and they relax a little like they did in the Bills game and the Dolphins game, if they relax a little against this good team, they will lose again. So that'll be 3 good teams that they lost to this season that they should have possibly beaten. The Bengals are bad. I'm telling you that right now. The Bengals did not look good in that Dolphins game. They suck. They do not look good. It's going to depend on the Ravens defense though. Maybe because the Dolphins blitz a lot, right? I mean, sorry, the Bengals didn't play the Dolphins. The Bengals played the Bengals did play the Dolphins. Yeah, the Bengals played the Dolphins. And granted, the Dolphins blitz a lot, right? The Dolphins do blitz a lot, but that should make it easier for a quarterback like Joe Burrow to find the open man. Like you see where the blitz is coming from, and okay, if there's more blitzes on this side, then there should be more open receivers depending on the offensive formation, right? But he wasn't able to do that for the most part until Tua got hurt, and then he started like, okay, I'm separating myself from Teddy Bridgewater, right? Okay. The Bengals are not good. I'm saying it. The Bengals are not good. And again, this is another thing that Madden predicted. My Madden predicted that the Cowboys would not the Cowboys, that the Rams would struggle this year. And my Madden also predicted last year that the Bengals would make the Super Bowl. But my Madden predicted also that after the Bengals made the Super Bowl that they struggled. So like all these type of predictions end up like coming through from Madden. Like you're not gonna make any picks off Madden, but it ends up being correct. I think that the Bengals are going to struggle this season. They've already struggled, in my opinion, and I think they're going to continue to struggle and lose this game. Going with the Ravens. Let's go, Lamar. Don't let me down again. Don't cost me again, my boy. So we'll go with the Ravens. Next game, probably the easiest game to pick of the week. Chiefs Raiders. That's a blowout. We're going Chiefs all the way on that one. Raiders need a win, and they're going to be They're going to be hungry. They're going to be scrappy. They're going to want to fight. They're going to cause problems. They're going to have an attitude. They're going to be doing way too much to bring the Chiefs down to their level and have the Chiefs playing out of character. That's what I think the Raiders are going to have to do to try to get this game to be somewhat close. Get the Chiefs upset. Get them out of character. I don't know how you're going to do it. You're talking a lot of trash. I don't know, but you're going to have to do something to try to get the Chiefs out of character and win this game. So I'm going Chiefs though. Easy dub over the Raiders. Probably smoke these boys by a lot of points. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes should be putting up close to 30, 35 points a game, in my opinion. Just off of his skill and his ability to raise the level of those other guys. And as soon as he starts to get on a roll with his current teammates, sky should be the limit for them boys on offense. We'll see though if the Raiders come out running the ball and go into a run pass scheme, the Chiefs defense isn't good. So it's not to say the Raiders are playing some top flight defense, but the Raiders don't need to be playing top flight defense to lose and suck. So I mean, just for context, the Raiders played the Broncos and scored 32 points, which is not bad because the Broncos have a really good defense. So if you could run the ball against the Chiefs, you might throw up points where they have to match you in terms of point production, right? But was that an anomaly though in terms of the Raiders putting up 27 to 32 because that was their first win of the season, right? Okay, they played the Titans and they lost 22 to 24. Now, if you put up 22 points against the Chiefs, you're going to lose. But that was before they started running the ball, right? That's 22 points off of passing alone. That's actually a lot of points off of passing, right? If you think about it, and you're not really running the ball like that, right? And then they lost 23 to 29 to the Cardinals. So that's over 20 points a game, not really running it like that. And then when you do start running it, you get a whole nother 10 points on top of that. That brings you up to the 30s now, 32 points. You scoring 30 points a game, you're in every game. So if you score 30 against the Chiefs going to have to put up 30 or plus or more or 40 to beat you the same way they had to against the Buccaneers. So the Chiefs are able to do it, don't get me wrong, but it makes for an interesting kind of game. I think that the Chiefs are still going to win handily, but there is a road for the Raiders to follow to get a lot of points or at least close enough to a win. So that's the last game. That's the Monday night game. There's only one Monday night game this week. That two game Monday night was an anomaly and like magic, like from the football guys. Can I get another one of those? But that was the last game. Thank you guys for tuning in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you were here with me. Peace.